Welcome to the Weekly Mac. We're kicking off a brand new season. We'll be talking about the play Here Comes Your Man with its author Jordi Cadellans and its co-protagonist Sergi Cervera. Which Hollywood actor would you have dinner with? Forget about it. Toni Garcia knocks our idols off their pedestal in his book Mata a tus ídolos. And we'll also be having some fun with the Scottish father and his daughter in our new section Family Tales. This is the Weekly Mac, your TV show in English, hosted by Marcela Topor.
Hello! So if you're looking for a bit of English practice, culture and fun, you've come to the right show. Let's start with our extraordinary words and facts section with Matthew, with Màrius and Umberto. Hello! How are you doing?
Hi. Hi there.
Fine.
How's it going?
Well,
Not bad?
it could be worse.
That's optimism.
Okay, and as always, we are looking for the extraordinary, and that term includes our social reporter, Umberto Gonzalez. So, Umberto, what have you looked into this week for us?
Something that I wanted to do for decades and ask personal hygiene questions to Europeans.
Wow.
Pay attention because we're going to look at terms like BO, body odor, which some of you are going to want to say bad odor or good odor, but it's just BO, body odor. You don't put bad or good in front of it. That means that it's already smelly. But let's take a look at the teaser and find out. Is there somebody that has BO?
I have a roommate that smells horrible.
Is there something that you want to tell him today in front of millions?
There's not much he can do about it. It's just part of being European, I think.
Whoa!
Umberto, is it true that American people think that Europeans might have a more relaxed attitude towards hygiene?
Yes, but to be fair, Americans are a little bit extreme. They actually take 2 and 3 showers a day. And are very always trimming their body and everything else. But it goes back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s when Europeans would come and they would tell us that they didn't use deodorant. You're going to have to give me some insight on that. But in the 70s, 80s, and 90s...
It's not true.
No. But they would smell a little bit, and they would tell us, we feel like deodorants are not natural. And you would see women with, I'm sorry to say this, hair a little bit down to here. So we had this idea, but Americans are extreme also.
Okay,
So,
well, we'll find all the answers in your video shortly.
Yes, all the
but
answers.
also in words and facts. Our engineer of words and enigmas, Màrius Serra, is going to reveal the mysterious origins of a few everyday idioms. Any pointers, Màrius?
Yeah, we'll smell some words and we'll talk about aphorisms
Okay.
this time. That's a sort of samples of popular wisdom, which include normally some word playing.
Aphorisms, that's an interesting subject, and of course we'll have the solution to last week's guessword, right, Màrius?
Yeah, let's remember the clue. It was to transfer goods between prisoners in a small room. It was a 4-letter word, and you have a few minutes to think about it.
That's right. Well, anyway, let's begin with facts and the amazing international Catalan connections brought to us today by Matthew Tree. So, Matthew, what stories are you going to surprise us today with?
Okay, this is about someone who, if you're half as surprised as I was when I found out about her, you're going to be absolutely amazed. We're going to talk about a woman called Moon Ribas. She was born in Mataró, which is on the Maresme coast of Catalonia, 35 years ago, and she's one of the world's leading exponents of cyborg art. That would be
Cyborg art.
Cyborg art.
What?
Cyborg art. Oh, I'm sure you know. I mean, I'm sure you know what it means, really. The term cyborg was invented in the 1960s by 2 scientists in California, and it comes from a cybernetic organism. And a cyborg is somebody who has artificial implants in his or her body. Now, this can be used to help blind people see. It can be used to help amputated people. This was one of the most famous cases, to have arms and limbs, that they would also be cyborgs. But it can also be used so that artists can have sensations that human beings would not normally be able to have. For example, just to give one example, Moon Ribas has an implant in one arm, specifically in the elbow, which enables her to detect an earthquake anywhere on the planet Earth. So as an earthquake takes place about every 10 minutes somewhere on the planet Earth, every time she does a live performance, she just stands there, waits for an earthquake to happen, and then it comes up on the screen with all the information about the earthquake, which she is recording on her body.
Okay, so you haven't mentioned about where the earthquake take place and all that?
And how strong it is and so forth. I mean,
She knows where it originated.
Yeah, she developed this device herself, and it is an extraordinary thing to watch. Her whole story is quite fascinating. She met up with an English guy who was born in Barcelona, Neil Harbison, who was also interested in in cyborg art.
Actually,
And-
Matthew, we interviewed Neil in this show, and I'm sure we can you can check out the interview online on our website.
He's
Yeah? So
he's
if you're
very easy to
interested.
spot, in
Yeah?
fact,
He's
because he
quite
has an
famous.
antenna
Yeah,
coming out of his
exactly.
head.
A very interesting guy.
He's an interesting guy. you know.
So what did Moon do in England?
Well, she studied dance because she's also a professional dancer. Then she moved to Amsterdam to study choreography. And in fact, she's incorporated dance and choreography into her cyborg work, let's say. And she started to apply this earthquake sensor when she was 28 years old, and she's later developed it so that it's even more sensitive, and she can pick up moonquakes, quakes on the
Moonquakes as
moon
well.
as well. And she uses this, well, I suppose you could call it extrasensory perception, to create dance routines based on the sensations that she's getting from both the Earth and the moon. And she wears these things, I mean, this is also, she wears these earthquake sensors 24 hours a day. And
Okay.
she says, she's explained in interviews that she sleeps perfectly well, except when there's a really serious earthquake, and then she wakes up. Yeah.
Are they visible? Or are they implants? They're inside her skin.
They're implants.
They're implants.
Inside the skin.
But before that, she developed, I quite like this idea, a pair of kaleidoscopic glasses, and she traveled, in other words, just colors. So all she could see were different colors all the time. And she traveled around Europe wearing these kaleidoscopic glasses and like talking to people without being able to see them, only seeing the colors in her glasses. And what that did was physically enhance her sense of color. And after that, she developed what she calls speed earrings, which are earrings
Okay.
which allow her to detect all movement around her for 360 degrees. So again, she went back to the European continent, went to different cities, and calculated, using a video, she calculated what different speeds people walked at in different European cities. And in fact, we have a little bit of that video now. It's called Speeds and Colors of Europe. Yeah. And so it goes on with all the different European capitals and
Okay.
people walking at different speeds. Coming more up to the present, in 2010, she and Neil, they founded the Cyborg Foundation, because Neil is officially the first official cyborg artist on the planet, and she officially is the first female cyborg artist on the planet.
Wow.
She came just a
Okay.
little bit after Neil.
Is it the same as the Transspecies Society?
No,
Oh,
no, that's even more advanced.
Wait.
But
What?
the transspecies thing. Okay, 2017, they founded the Transspecies Society in Barcelona, right in Barcelona, and it's because cyborgs believe that they're not only making art through body implants, but they're giving people the right to change and transform their own bodies. It's a bit like genetic engineering of human beings, only you do it through mechanical means, through implants, would be the idea.
It's amazing.
All right.
But the trans-species thing is interesting because it takes cyborg art one step forward, which is that, because Moon Ribas has explained this, she says that by helping people to see and feel things that other animals can, but human beings can't, it helps you get a greater empathy for all other living beings who share the planet with us. That would be the main aim or direction of the Trans-Species Foundation. So she and her friend Neil are pioneers in that field.
Okay, pretty amazing. Thank you, Matthew, for
You're welcome.
all that information. Anyway, now from cyborgs to idiomatic expressions, which are also something of a puzzle. That's why we like them so much, and why every week we ask different people about their favorite expressions.
An age is an issue of mind and matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. It's nice because people are thinking too much, no? About what people think about themselves and where they should have been in life, but it only depends on you and your perspective, and no pasa nada.
One of the expressions that I heard and I like, it's the leopard, you cannot change his nature, and it's true because the nature of the things is the nature of the things, you can change it. In the end of the day, everything will stay the same.
The worth of life is the worth of one person. One person's worth is the worth of the planet itself, because it's the way we all get bad and we all get good at the same point.
Well, it seems that today we have some rather special expressions, or actually instead of idioms, we should be talking about aphorisms. But no worries, because we've got Màrius Serra here with us today, our specialist in words and hidden meanings.
Yes, take the first one, for example. He says, age is an issue of mind and matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Well, it's a sort of a witty aphorism based on the double sense of mind and matter. Two words that can be nouns and verbs, so you can play on it. In Catalan, for instance, we have got one similar from Joan Salvat Papasseit, the poet, that says, el ser vell no és cosa de joves, meaning that brain in Catalan has a name, cervell, which is a sort of homophone to be old.
Ser vell.
Ser vell.
Exactly.
So that young people are supposed not to think too much, right? These are sort of aphorisms based on playing words.
Yeah, I'd still prefer to be young, but still.
Màrius, like you said, this is an aphorism, that is a proverb, but do we have any idioms based on these same words?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, matter
yes.
and mind appear in some idioms related to opinion. For instance, the first one is a matter of opinion. When something is a matter of opinion, means that we haven't decided about that, we can discuss on it. But I found three different idioms with matter which are quite curiously related. First one is to be of one mind, meaning to share an opinion. The second one is to be of two minds, meaning that you have not decided if A or B, maybe you are doubting. And the third one, to have half a mind to do something, which means that you are almost decided, but maybe you are not. So you have two, one and half mind.
There's another one called I'll give you a piece of my mind. Have you heard of that one?
A piece of your mind?
I'll give you a piece of my mind, meaning that if you don't do what I tell you, I'm going to let you have it.
Oh.
Okay.
You've heard of that one.
Yeah, no.
Okay, what about the one that goes, the worth of life is the worth of one person?
Well, this seems a great aphorism. The last chap says, finally, one person's worth is the worth of the planet itself. Well, it seems like a proverb more than an aphorism. Anytime it's based on the word worth, value. And actually it brings us back to the word matter again, because it reminds me of some very recent idioms, or I don't know if idioms, but phrases that will be idioms with all this movement, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, and so on. Maybe we could say all lives matter.
What about the other aphorism I believe we heard, which deals with leopards and nature?
Yeah, the guy there said a leopard cannot change its nature. I think it's a slight mistake for a leopard cannot change its spots.
Yeah, that's the only one I've heard.
That's what we say.
I think that the real one is this, because, well, means the same thing, the same idea. When you've got a nature, you can't change, but it has a biblical origin, because that's why it's a leopard. Why not a zebra? Why not a giraffe with all that spots?
Wait a minute, leopards don't change their spots. That has a biblical nature.
Yeah, it's in Jeremiah 13:23. When the prophet has implored an old woman to live a holy life, but he realizes that she may be unable to change. So he says, an Ethiopian can't change his skin color, Black Lives Matter, and a leopard can't change its spots. That's in Jeremiah. Right.
Wow, exactly. So do you happen to know of other biblical aphorisms?
Across the bear. We use that a lot. I've got a cross to bear.
Cross to bear, yeah.
I've got a cross to bear, or he has a cross to bear. You've never heard of that one?
No.
You need to go to church more
Cross
often.
to bear,
No,
yeah.
maybe I just need to go to America. I've never come across it.
Well, we say in Catalan, quina creu. That's across the world.
The one I quite like is you reap what you sow.
Oh, yeah.
You reap what you sow. I don't know which part of the Bible it comes from, but it's true.
There are lots of biblical, of course, we come from that culture. I have chosen 3 of them related to animals. First one, to be a wolf in a sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
The second one, lambs to the slaughter.
Yeah. I knew that one came from the Bible.
Isaiah.
Yeah.
And it makes us think in a very famous film, The Silence
Of the Lambs.
of the Lambs.
The lambs, of course.
That's a real reference. And the final one, the third one, pearls before swine. Items of quality not being appreciated for
What's
those.
it called? Pearls before swine?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
You never heard that?
To throw pearls before swine is well, you were
You
going
can find
to
it
explain
in Matthew. Not Matthew 3, but Matthew in the Bible.
No, I think Matthew and I are going to go to Bible study this weekend.
Okay. Well, maybe.
Right. I'm sure we all learned something new today in terms of idioms, aphorisms, or proverbs. But I think it's time now to talk about hygiene with Umberto. So, Umberto introduced us to this really nice term, which is body odor. In Banyolas, you went to Banyolas. Did you find many people willing to talk about this delicate issue?
More
I could say?
than I expected. It was amazing. You know how I referred to, we talked earlier in the show about how it was back with the Europeans in America, but now everybody's taking showers. And of course in Banyolas, which is the bathtub of Catalonia, where everybody goes to possibly take a shower. I don't know, you probably know some people there, since I think you
I
live there.
half live there, and I can say Banyolans are extremely clean people. They do not have BO, and it's not because they live next to a lake. They're just,
None of them did. Everybody was very, very clean, I found. Very clean.
Excellent. What else did you find? Or maybe we should watch the video first?
Let's watch the video first, yeah. We are still living in the era of the virus, ladies and gentlemen, and some of us are bathing more than others. And that made me wonder, how often do they bathe here? Because in America, the Latins say, en España no se bañan. And what better place to come to than Banyolas? I mean, with a name like that, you know they're gonna be the professionals. And I may get in and bathe with one of them, or two. How many times a day, a week, or a month do you bathe?
Every day.
I don't bathe since I was 5 years old, I think. I only have a shower every day.
3 times a week in a river, twice a month in the sea.
With shampoo, one day yes, one day no.
One day yes, one day no.
Every 3 days. Look, very nice.
Twice a week.
I have a friend named Jackie Scott. Jackie Scott washes her hair when it rains.
When I wake up, my hair is like really stiff.
Stiff, so you wash it and that makes it less stiff.
Yeah.
What else is stiff? You sometimes like to share with somebody else your space in the shower.
As long as I have a preference over who it is, yeah. That's not an invitation.
Oh, damn. Let's talk about your butt.
My butt.
Yeah, your butt.
I was living in another country, Indonesia, and they don't have paper to wash your butt when you poo. So you use water. Makes you feel fresh and it's more clean.
Do you have a bidet?
I do. I thought it was for when you drank too much and you couldn't get off your knees and you needed a drink of water after throwing up in the toilet.
What's the longest that you've gone without ever showering?
2 weeks. I was cycling across a desert.
This are legs that have gone through the desert. Like a horse with no name.
Because I'm doing holidays with free camping, 4 days, maybe 1 week.
Can I actually smell you and see how you smell?
You can.
Let me see. I don't smell anything. Can I smell you from afar?
No.
Can I smell you?
Well, if you want, I was...
So can I smell you?
No.
Can I smell you a little bit?
Yes.
He passes the test too. Super clean. Well, I want to say that I wanted to give you the dirt on this, y'all, but no, everybody was super clean. Well, except for that cyclist that spent 2 weeks without bathing. But I want to leave Màrius Serra with a little bit of an idiom. I did not break a sweat. Banyoles is refreshing, ladies and gentlemen. Refreshing.
So, Màrius, did you know this expression, to break a sweat?
Yeah, just for an effort, starting to work and...
Exactly. I wanted to let you know that I had the best time doing this, these interviews, and I did not even break a sweat doing it. It was easy.
Easy.
And you even finally bathed. It was too cold, it was refreshing. How did you find it?
Perfect. It was fantastic. Banyolas, I would recommend to everybody. Go out there and bathe. It's very nice.
Yeah, and it's great swimming in the lake because you don't come out with salt all over you. It all feels clean.
Yes. Now, I want to point out a difference that I actually learned myself from Europeans is that when I was asking, did you bathe? Americans say, did you bathe for soap and water? No, a lot of them thought I was talking about the lake. If you go to the lake or if you go you're swimming in America. But I think in Europe, they associate bathing with swimming and so on. It's a little bit of a difference in the cultural languages. We say bathe even if you shower.
Oh,
so.
That's also because you also say to wash up, meaning to wash your hands. Whereas in European or British English or whatever you want to call it, to wash up is to wash the dishes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do the washing up, right?
Yeah, to do the washing up or to wash up. Yeah.
Y'all are shocking me every day. Every time I think I cannot hear anything else new from the Brits, you spring something else.
Very quickly then, from the 70s, in 1970s Britain, BO, the expression BO, was used in a whole series of deodorant advertisements, which I remember as a young teenager. And it was people sitting in a train or a bus.
Using BO?
Talking about...
No, and one would be sitting next to a complete stranger and would look at his friend opposite and go, BO. And that would be a way of advertising deodorant. And I always thought as a kid, what a really weird way of behaving. But anyway.
Now I have questions for the three of you.
Really?
Oh my God.
Question number one is, what is the longest period you haven't had a shower or a bath? You, Marcello, let's begin with you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It's hard to say. I shower or I have not a bath, a shower every day, so I try to at least.
But the longest that you
the
ever
longest,
went?
maybe a few days.
Yeah?
Up in the mountains, and then I had a swim in a lake or a river, something like that.
The second question, I'm going to give it to you.
An easy question, please.
Yeah. For you, Màrius,
Yeah.
how often do you wash your hair?
Oh, every morning.
Okay. Do you use soap?
With my
When you wash
shampoo.
your hair?
With
Yeah.
my shampoo.
Okay, just
Yeah,
checking, because I
every
have that
morning.
English friend that doesn't wash her hair except when it
this
rains.
white, this whiteness, you have to.
What's my question?
And yours is, what do you do if you notice the person you're talking to smells bad?
Make sure the conversation doesn't last very long.
Okay, wise answer.
You don't bring a deodorant and say, B.O.?
What about you, Umberto?
Oh, which question do you want me to answer?
The three of them?
Oh, the three of them. Well,
The first one. I'm interested in the first one.
the longest has been 3 days.
Oh.
During the winter, it has been 3 days. How often do I wash my hair? Every day. I have to wash my hair every day. And if I notice a person next to me that smells, I'd leave. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's good. And let's finish words and facts with the guess word, the word puzzle by Màrius Serra. But before hearing his new clue, let's give the solution to last week's enigma,
Yeah.
Màrius.
So the clue was to transfer goods between prisoners in a small room. It was a 4-letter word. Any ideas?
I'm going to take a stab at it and say slip.
Would try, but it's not the answer, Matthew.
The first letter is correct. I would say sell. S-E-L-L.
That's it.
As opposed to C-E-L-L,
That's
which is
it. To sell
place.
something is to transfer goods, but then you have to think with C-E-L-L in a small room for a prisoner.
Ingenious.
Exactly, makes sense.
Okay. Now that you have warmed up with a 4-letter word,
Okay.
let's try with a 7-letter word.
Okay,
right?
Màrius, bring it on.
Okay. The clue is usual ways of acting when you cross the border. 7 letters. Usual ways of acting when you cross the border. 7 letters.
Okay, well, that might take a bit longer to guess, I think, but it can definitely be solved. You know, you can already find this guess word on our social network profiles. You can be the first to post the answer and check the solution next Saturday. Until then, Umberto, Matthew, Màrius, thank you so much. Until next time, see you soon. And yeah, hopefully we'll crack the answer.
Today we'll discover a theater play about a problem so often brushed under the carpet, school bullying. Stay for our chat with its author, Jordi Cadellans, and its co-star, Sergi Cervera.
Put one parent and their child in the same room, ask them the right questions, and you'll get some funny answers. Today on Family Tales, please meet Ben and Sarah Freeman, or as they describe themselves, the most stubborn members of the family.
Hello, my name's Ben. I'm originally from Aberdeen in Scotland, and this is my daughter Sarah. Say hello, Sarah. Sarah is from Barcelona, or you can say that you're from here as well. No.
Opening my mouth at the table.
When not opening your mouth at the table, no. Eating with your mouth open, no? Yeah. What does she repeat the most?
No.
No, that's what I say to you. Well, no, that's what you say to me, yeah, most of the time. When I ask you to do something, you say no. I don't know, or silly things like seriously, or stuff from the movies you've seen. Cycling, playing tennis, playing tennis, playing tennis.
Going to the beach.
You know, playing, I don't know. She's stubborn like me. And she likes to get her own way. and she's clever as well, like me. There's no wrong answer, it doesn't matter. I think all the best things are from me. No. I think she's probably a bit more like me than she is like her mother. You've got the whole board, you know, to write, not just the top corner. 1, 2, 3. Sushi go? You've done it?
Yeah.
Right? 1, 2, 3. Tomato salad. Ah. Well, I put steak. But I like tomato salad as well. Yeah, it's nice. Very good.
Tomato salad with steak.
Yes, you can have tomato salad with steak. Good job, eh? And good spelling as well. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Bicycle! Yay! Cycling! Good job, we both got it right. Sarah's way more affectionate than I am. I'm a proper Scottish boy who's not very affectionate at all. No, Sarah? Do you like giving cuddles and, you know, kisses and cuddles? No?
Welcome back. We continue with Home from Home and a story of love and art. The visual artist Michele Motiscause and the curator Francesca Regni met in Barcelona more than 10 years ago, and since then they've shared both their life and successful careers, and we visited their studio. Check it out.
Hi, we are Studio Motiscause. I am Francesca Regni, Studio Motiscause's project curator, and this is Michele Motiscause, the artist.
Hi everybody.
I always had the objective to work in the contemporary art field, especially on my project, my ideas, my own concept of art, and Barcelona gave me the right person to try to do this with. And so here, actually, I met Michele Motiscause. I saw his artwork. Immediately, I thought it was a very special and peculiar artistic talent. I saw something very rare and authentic in his work, which completely reflects his way to be. Ethics and aesthetics are coherent in his research, which I believe is absolutely fundamental in a groundbreaking artist.
Since I was a very young kid, I knew art was my path. In general, all the disciplines are important. In my case, I give more importance to drawing. I think it's the base to anything else. Like grammar in a language.
He's got, anyway, a very strong classical technique. I'm speaking about drawing, painting, installation. But the thing about him is he can work with very many different medias. In fact, his last work was a video art installation which was presented to the Loop Festival, and it was presented by the Italian Cultural Institute here in Barcelona. I want to underline this fact. He never loses his je ne sais quoi, in a video, in a painting, in a drawing, you can always recognize a Michele Motiscause's artwork. Studio Motiscause is another starting point, another beginning from other parts. We had another studio in the center of Barcelona, which in fact was created by Michele Motiscause from an abandoned warehouse. This restoration, this space work piqued the interest of Yvonne Farrell, the curator of the 2018 Architectural Venice Biennale. And then we just grow up and we needed a new space, a new light, a new energy, but same direction. So we came here, we found this amazing space, and we love the light, we love the view, and overall the energy, which reflects who we are. Yeah, the space is always changing, the work are always changing because Michele is always doing a lot of production. So here you can see painting, drawings, you can see some new projects are coming out.
Well, I have no favorite piece of art. They are like my children, each of them with their own character. I love them all.
We open the space to friends, to art lovers, collectors, galleries. We love to share, of course, Michele Motiscause's work and to create energy, to move the energy inside the space. We have many different projects right now, exhibitions between Italy and London, a new project with the Italian Cultural Institute here in Barcelona and the Italian Consulate, and also we are thinking about a new great event here at the studio, so stay tuned.
Hello. Now I'm sitting here with our friend Sergi Cervera. Well, and it might seem awkward not seeing him in his glamorous waistcoat and asking questions in our quiz. That will be later. Now he's sitting here to talk about an entirely different matter. He's come with the actor and playwright Jordi Cadellans, an old friend of his, to talk about a joint project. Hello.
Hi.
Jordi. Hello, Sergi. Well, before we talk about the play, let's see, you guys are friends, have been friends for a long time. So tell us, how did you meet in the first place?
I actually don't understand how it happened and how it lasted that long. We met, you talk.
I remember, I don't know, just on Instagram, he was just telling people that he was in LA, just trying to be
become
there.
a famous Hollywood
to be
actor.
there,
Telling
to work as
people
an
and
actor.
trying to, two birds.
Yeah, and I just sent him a DM. Can you tell me all these things? How are things going there? And he was really, really friendly. And,
How is life in Hollywood?
Yeah,
Exactly,
that's it.
but
How
more
can
or
you
less it was
manage?
like-
Is it for real? Is it like? And he told me, okay, I'm going back to Barcelona, so why don't we meet somewhere? And I explained it to you that
Right.
and we
And
met.
it was like a few years ago, right?
Yeah, it was like almost
Yeah.
10,
No.
not even, but close to. And you were close to come and join next year.
Yeah, I was thinking
Finally,
about
you
that.
couldn't because of
but
the TV show.
I didn't do it.
Didn't happen.
Finally, no.
I see
No,
that's a long
I
story, but
tried.
anyway, we are talking today about a theatre play written by Jordi that will leave no one indifferent. And Jordi, I know that at first, when after writing the play, you told about it, you talked to Sergi and he immediately wanted to be part of it, but you had your doubts.
Yeah.
Why was that?
I had my own idea. No, it was because I wanted to work with two actors that I didn't know that well, like I know Sergi.
Okay.
So I needed the character of Torres, which is the one that Sergi plays. I really need that moment. I thought it was better to work with an actor that I didn't know that much, you know.
And
So
finally
that's
changed your mind.
Well,
he couldn't pay for a good actor, and he finally called
he was
me.
really enthusiastic, and he was one of the first to tell me that the playwright was really nice, was good, and he was dying to do that role.
And
that
finally,
part.
it shows that it was a good idea because the play is really successful. Well, we'll talk about that in a moment. So they're talking about a play which deals with one of the most pervasive and at the same time overlooked problems in the Western world, in our society. Let's take a look at this.
Hi ha un buc que s'està avorrint. Jo vull ser com l'àngel exterminador d'aquest món i no pararé fins que s'acabi.
I tu què? No es fotràs res perquè paris de fer tota aquesta merda que dius que et feia. Defensar-te.
Here Comes Your Man is already a successful play both in Madrid and now in Barcelona at the Gaudí Theatre. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you very much.
It's great that you have these great reviews from critics and this great response from the audience as well. Congratulations also to Marc Ribera, who stars in the play with Sergi. And tell me, did you expect this success?
No, I was, when I wrote it, I really wanted to be honest about my story and try to find out if we could just make it, you know, to put it on a stage and
it actually started
with
the reading in your home.
Yeah.
It really started like we didn't have budget and we didn't have anything at the beginning, and he called us for a meeting with Raúl Tortosa, the co-director, and Marc Ribera, the other actor, and we read it in your home, and
with no
we didn't know what exactly, with no expectation.
So I started to move the play to several theaters and places where they can just they can produce some play, and the answer were no, all of them,
we met
most of them,
Tarambana.
and then I just I was looking to Madrid because I've lived there for 10 years, so I know some people, and I have a friend that has a theater. The Sala Tarambana, which is in the Carabanchel neighborhood, and I told him about that, and he said, "Oh, why don't we ask for some culture money from the Ministry of Culture, Spanish, and to ask them for some money to put it and
so this is
build
how
it, right?
you've been able to
and we did it,
do it,
and we got it, and so we could start rehearsing, and the actors could get paid. Yeah, that's the most
which
important
which is always good.
Yeah.
Yes.
The process.
Jordi, the play deals with a very tough topic, which is bullying. Right? It's something, I guess it wasn't easy for you to talk about. It's based on your own experience, like you said. How much, if I can ask you, how much of the actual play is based on real life experience?
Well, all the things that Morales, the character of Morales, which is the part that plays Marc Ribera, all his feelings, all the way he feels, the way he talks about that, and they are my words, okay? But not the facts. The facts are fiction. So I had to, I don't know, exaggerate it to make it more theatrical. So, but every time Marc talks about how he felt that moment, it's me talking.
What made you decide to finally write about this experience and share it with the audience?
Well, I have to be honest. I've been always wanting to get some kind of revenge for what happened to me, because I was a child and it was 8 years of bullying. So something it was inside. So I've been all these years thinking about the best way to get some revenge. I don't know if it's good to say that,
Well,
but it's like that.
poetic.
Well, actually,
It's poetical
revenge is quite
Justice.
an issue, no, in the
Justice,
play, and
Yeah.
it's to which point, is it's human,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This feeling is
Yeah.
human, and it's understandable.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was legit, you know, to wanted to get some revenge. You know, so that's the character of Mark. That's when you are watching the play. You have to take a part, you know, if you agree with him or you don't, you know, like. So that was the thing I wanted to put there, and to make people just taking parts.
The play is the mutual understanding between the two actors. There are only two actors on stage, and the relationship between them is really intense, really powerful, sometimes even includes explicit violence. So how did you prepare this staging?
You want?
Well, one of the beautiful things about the process, or I even would say that one of the most beautiful process I've been involved in talking about theater was the rehearsal process, and we had the time and the resources to rehearse for 6 weeks, which included, I think, the 2 or 3 first sessions. It was just an interview with the character.
Yeah.
He and Raúl, the other director, they organized and set up an interview, 2 hours interview with the character, Mark's character and my character as well. That created a common ground to build the characters from.
Okay.
And that was a part of the process to start creating those characters and this violence. We had time. That's a positive thing, and a play like this one requires time to create all the layers of and the feelings and the roots of those kind of characters.
The play doesn't leave anyone indifferent, like you said before. What is the reaction that you see it has on the audience?
Well, most of the time, many people come to explain their own experiences about the bullying. You know, I can say that men over 50, they feel really identified with that, with the school system we talk about, the Catholic school system from the 80s, and you can see that they know what we are talking about.
Okay.
They really know it. So it's amazing, because it was not my intention. It's amazing.
It's important to raise awareness on this really present topic, unfortunately, in our society, and to name it, to put words, to say it out loud. I would like to ask you, Sergi, what was it like to play this strong character? Because we've seen you in Polonia, in the TV show, we've seen you in comedies, and now in this drama. What did it represent for you, and how do you recover after one show which requires so much, psychologically and physically and emotionally speaking?
Well, he said at the beginning of the process, I can just explain that. He said, like, let me lead you. He said, like I just want to take you out of your comfort zone, and it's going to be difficult for you. He said something like that. But trust me, I know you as an actor. I'm not going to let you play in the field which you have been playing during the past years.
Yes.
Which was okay, but now we're going to move forward to a different play. So it was easy in that way. It was easy for me to let me be led by him and then Raúl.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in terms of the character, I just love it. He's a guy, I hope, very different from me. I hope, but I understand him in some way. We've been working a lot with this character, and I think I understand him, and I try to defend him, not justify him, but defend him. And in terms of how does it affect? Well, I've been working in comedy most of my past years, which I think it adds something to the character, right?
Yes.
Because the first part of the play, it's a drama. The play, it's a drama, but the first part of the play, it's a drama with bits of comedy.
Yes.
And we have found, especially in Barcelona, we have found the comedy out of that play, because The audience sometimes laugh, even in the most drama and dark areas of the play, they laugh out loud, which it makes me feel connected to the audience. But it affects. Me and Mark, we have talked a lot about that, especially in the part when we started doing the play in Madrid. It took us a while to leave the characters in the morning after the performance.
We know that the audience loved the play, but just for those who haven't seen it yet, let's see, just tell us a little bit about the plot, how it starts, and why should the audience come and see it?
The story is about two guys on their 30s that have to share a room of a hotel because they the schoolmates get there to celebrate some homage to an old teacher.
Reunions.
Yeah,
kind of
a meeting. So Torres, which is the part that plays Sergi, is is the straight guy. He was very successful then back in time, and he's dying to experience that weekend. He wants to have fun, and he has to share the room with Morales, which is the character that plays Mark. And Morales, it turns out that he's there not that happy, and he's it's kind of weird because he's there really serious and not very nice at the beginning with Torres, and they have this I don't know, there is kind of tension.
Okay.
From the very beginning.
Step by step and slowly they start meeting, knowing each other and speaking and talking, and it turns out that Mark was a bullying victim, and he talks to Torres about that, and
there is a lot of action, a lot of things going on. Actually, they say the play is like a psychological thriller.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah? And there is a lot of tension and a lot of suspense, and it's a really thrilling play. We really recommend it. If you haven't seen it, please go and see Here Comes Your Man at the Teatre Gaudí until the date?
Do you want
October?
to announce? Good news.
We're announcing an extension.
That's good.
Yeah, we're going to be on October on the theater on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday until the 22nd. 22nd from now.
Yeah.
All doors are open, and we'll
be there in November.
Happy to keep performing that play. Yeah.
Okay, so Here Comes Your Man will be on at the Teatre Gaudí until the 22nd of October, and maybe, who knows, we might still see it in November and December.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, we have our expectations.
Well, Jordi and Sergi, thank you so much for coming today to give us details about this great play. This great project. Congratulations. And Sergi, you can't leave because I'll see you in a bit in the quiz.
I'm going to put my vest on and I'm going to change totally my energy.
Yeah? You're going to put your glamour on, right? Okay, so see you in a bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Hi, hola, buenos dias. Of course, today, Spanish words that have influenced the English language. And of course, it's not surprising since that America, the North, is bordered entirely by Spanish-speaking countries. So a lot of the words have crept over the border. As well, you also have Spain, which has influenced the English language highly over the last couple of hundred years. Now, the first word we're going to talk about is patio. A patio is like an interior courtyard that is opened. You can go, for example, and have dinner in the patio, or have some drinks on the patio, all right? The next one, plaza, or plaza as we say in English. Of course, it's exactly as it sounds and exactly the same meaning. It is a huge square, pedestrianized, where people can hang out. So you have, for example, Rockefeller Plaza in New York City is a good example. Next one, super simple, a nap. What is it in English? We say a siesta, also taken from Spanish. A siesta, of course, is a small, short nap you take more or less in the afternoons when it's a very hot day to recharge your batteries. Then we have macho. Well, one of my favorites because I'm definitely not a macho man. Macho has this kind of negative connotation to it, okay? It means like exaggerated masculinity, all right? And the last one is an unusual one. It's pecadillo. It's spelled with two C's in English, and peccadillo obviously means like a small sin, a small moral sin. You're not going to be punished for it, but you're definitely going to feel bad. So, as Arnold Schwarzenegger once said, Hasta la vista, baby.
Are you a fan of a Hollywood star? Don't grow too fond of him or her, then Toni Garcia will probably tell you some anecdotes from his book Kill Your Idols in a few minutes on the Weekly Mac.
Robert De Niro, Julia Roberts, George Clooney. Well, after 3,000 interviews with the Hollywood stars in 20 years, more or less, the journalist and contributor to this show, Toni Garcia, tells us some of his best anecdotes in his new book, Mata a tus ídolos, Kill Your Idols. After reading it, believe me, you'll see your favorite movie stars in a totally different light. Let's see why. Toni Garcia, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. Well, I must say it's a really great title, really inviting. In Kill Your Idols, you say, when you get to meet a Hollywood star, it's disappointing. Is that true, or is that true in most cases? Which idols disappointed you the most?
No, I would say is a generic advice. Always keep your expectations low with everyone, and then life goes better.
Okay.
I wouldn't say every Hollywood actor is disappointing. In real life, most of them are. But it's because our fault as well, you know. It's not a bubble they build. It's a bubble that with a double-sided. It's our bubble and their bubble. So if we break our part of the bubble, it's better, you know. If we don't see them as gods or something like that, things can be better.
Okay, nothing is perfect. Perfection doesn't exist, right? Well, on the opposite, who is the actor or actress who impressed you the most, or I don't know, surprised you a lot?
I would say, if we talk about stars, real stars, people
Hollywood
with power
stars.
and money and talent, George Clooney is the best, because he's what you see. He's an organic star. He doesn't need to pretend. He's not acting. He's like that, you know. He remembers your name after 2 questions. He's capable of you know, dealing with the table of 6 journalists and you know, be smart and funny. And then he's an incredible actor and director.
Attractive.
Well, yeah, that's he's handsome, you know. So you think, well, I would marry this man.
What about actresses?
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren.
Helen
I know.
Mirren.
I read it in the book.
That's the one. That's the one for
Tell
me.
us why. Well, for obvious reasons, but tell us how you met her and how the conversation went and so on.
First time I met her was like maybe 15, 16 years ago. My English was not so good, and she was so kind to me, you know. I remember the first time I have to say the first interview, the first big interview I did in my life was with Clint Eastwood. And I thought, because I'm stupid, my English was not very good, so I thought, I'm going to bring a dictionary. So I was, I can tell you the scene was really, you know, ridiculous. And then I realized that my English wasn't very good. And then after Clint Eastwood, I had Helen Mirren. And both were so nice, but Helen Mirren is so sweet. She's amazing, and she's such a good actress. So I love her. She's amazing.
I'm a great fan as well. Before we go on with anecdotes about other famous Hollywood actors and actresses, Toni, tell us how you got into this circuit, how you got into this world of glamour and fame.
I would say by chance, and I was lucky. I was at the right time, at the right place. But basically, it was like freelancing.
Okay.
It was, I decided I wanted to cover film festivals. That was my dream. And I wanted to go there and do interviews and do everything, but I didn't know how it worked.
Right.
So I tried, and it was a complete disaster.
What was the first festival you attended?
Sitges.
Sitges.
Sitges in 1994. That was the first one. Long back.
But actually, cinema has always been present in your life.
Of course.
Since you were a little boy, I know you had this great fascination for cinema.
Exactly.
And how many films have you watched in that period?
I don't know, many.
It's all in the first chapter of your book, and I think it's really interesting to say how you got into this.
It was about my parents bought me a VHS, a player, and then I discovered there was like a Blockbuster, a huge place where they had, you know, thousands of VHS tapes, and I rented in a period of like 10 years or 11 years. I rented like 9,000 movies, more or less. Some of them were so I repeated some movies, but it was basically like 9,000 movies, and then that was the spark, you know, the beginning of everything.
Lit the fire.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the beginning of a really, really interesting period in your life. We're talking about 20 years, more than 3,000 interviews with Hollywood stars. Let's talk about more anecdotes. For example, there is one in your book about Tom Hanks. What happened?
Yes, well, I went to London to interview Tom Hanks for a movie called Polar Express. And the movie was about a guy who starts a journey in a train, you know, in a kind of magic train.
Okay.
So I went there, I interviewed Tom Hanks, and at the end of the interview, he gave me this sort of suitcase.
Really?
Yes, he told me this is a gift from the company that produces the movie, Warner Brothers. And I said, oh, thank you very much. And I had to fly back to Barcelona that same day. So I took the suitcase, I go to the airport, and I go, and I want to check the suitcase, and the woman there tells me, oh, this suitcase is so beautiful, you know, it reminds me when my husband and I went to picnic together many years ago, blah, blah, blah. And you know, it's leather, you know, it's a leather suitcase, you know. They're gonna ruin it if you just put it on the, you know, on the check of the plane, you know.
Okay.
So take it with you, you know, like hand luggage. And it was the time that we were traveling in business class, you know.
Yes, of course. Well,
that
that's
time,
the advantages of your job.
That time passed by, but at that time we were like rich people. So this woman told me, you don't have to check the suitcase. You can take it with you. There's no, you know, you don't have to pay more for it or blah, blah, blah. So I take the suitcase that I didn't open.
Okay.
Okay, so I didn't know what was inside the suitcase, and I go
surprise.
And I go through the security check, and I put the suitcase there, and then a lot of people come from, you know, other parts of the airport to take a look at the screen, you know.
Okay.
That shows what is in the suitcase.
What is inside? Yes.
And I remember starting thinking, what's going on? What is wrong with all these people? And then two guys appear. One was like a little bit thick, and the other one was thin, you know. So they arrived and they tell me, "Is that your suitcase, sir?" And I'm like, "Well, yes, it is now, but you know, they just gave it to me." I said, "Who gave it to you?" And then because I'm stupid, I said, "Tom Hanks." So they say, "The actor?" I said, "Yeah, of course, the actor."
Okay, sure.
And they're like, sure. Could you open it? And then I open it, and there's like 6 knives. 2 big ones, and then 2 medium ones, and 2 small ones. And this guy tells me, "What is that?" And I'm like, you know, I didn't know there was like knives in the suitcase. I was, So Tom Hanks, they didn't tell you. He didn't tell you that there was knives. No, he didn't tell me anything.
And what happened? Eventually, what happened?
And then the other guy tells me, did he give you any instructions what to do with the knives once you're, you know, boarding the plane? And I was like, oh my God. So they were like the bad cop. There was not good cop. So they brought me to a room, you know, they searched me. And then they called Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers confirms that there was a suitcase. It was a picnic suitcase.
Yeah, happy ending though.
Happy ending. I could board the plane. They were laughing at me So like 1 hour.
Okay, and the adventures, there are so many adventures in this book. For example, you went to have a beer with a very famous Hollywood actor. What's his name?
Which one of them?
I don't know, maybe with a lot of them, but there is one chapter in the book about Johnny Depp.
Okay, yeah,
Yes?
but it was because the interview was like 30 minutes, and then he had like 1 hour until the next one, and he told me, you want to stay and have a beer with me? And I said, Johnny Depp, me, yes. So we were there in a terrace, in a rooftop in Venice, having a beer, and I was...
Yeah, was he nice?
Yes, very nice. He speaks really soft.
Okay.
So it's like... And I was like, yeah, man, yeah. I was like...
Okay, Toni, like I said, there are so many funny anecdotes, interesting, some of them hilarious about all these famous people. But tell us, is this world really as we imagine it, like luxury hotels and all this glamour and gold? What is it really like?
Well, there's a part of it that is real. You know, there's business class trips and luxury hotels and fine wines and sometimes good parties. But the backstage of it, it's so human in the sense that it's like us. You know, there's a lot of frustrated people, a lot of circus. You know, a lot of board cars. It's like Tintin and in El País de los Soviets. You know, it's like
Okay.
you know, everything seems to fall apart once you're there. So it's not real. Just the part you see is real, but when you go and you see the other part of it, the back of it, you know, it's disappointing because it's kind of artificial. It's fake.
Right. Has this world changed a lot in these 20 years?
The only thing that has changed for me, or I think for press worldwide, is the access. You know, I started this job when there was not social networking. There was no Twitter. Facebook was like a joke, you know. Even at the beginning, internet was not so, you know, big in terms of everything was there. So an actor says something, and then you read it because you read it in the paper of a magazine, or in a paper or a magazine, or in the page of, you know, whatever. But now they have like this huge, you know, amount of things that can go viral for any reason. So everything they say, it can be monitorized and amplified, you know. So now they watch out everything very carefully. Everything they say, everything they do is, you know,
because they are afraid
of course,
that
because
what they can say can be
the repercussions are
manipulated
huge
and so on.
for everything.
Yes.
You say something in 1 minute, is, you know, it's everywhere.
Yeah, all over the world.
Yes. So because of this, the access it's more difficult now. They control whatever you say. They recorded everything as you do.
Okay.
You know, so they can say this word, he didn't say that, or she didn't say that. So it's kind of difficult.
Maybe before it was more fun
It was fun.
than nowadays?
Yeah, it was fun. It's because it was more natural, you know. You could say anything. And the repercussions were, you know, yeah, like small. But now you say anything and it's, you know, everywhere. So they are now watching themselves very carefully.
Okay. The craziest thing any of these stars ever said to you?
There's one story that I didn't put in the book because I thought it was too crazy. With a big star, with a Hollywood big star. I'm not gonna say the name. But we had an interview with him, another journalist and me, and it was like right before the September 11. It was like the beginning of 2002 or something like that. I asked him if there was any solution for the conflict, you know, between the West and Islam, and you know, and he said yes, there's something we can do, definitely. And I said, what? He said, you have to stop stop recording.
Right.
And I said, okay, so I stopped it. He took the battery out of the recording. He asked me for my phone. He disconnected the phone. You know, he took the battery out of the phone. and he told me, we have to bomb those motherfuckers. I said, bomb those motherfuckers? Yeah, we have to bomb the Mecca.
Wow.
With a with a nuclear weapon. And I was like, at the beginning I thought he was joking.
Okay.
And I said, okay. And then, something else? And he said, yes, we have to kill 100,000 of them for every death of our people.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
right.
Oh my God.
That's tough.
So it was all off the record. You know, I didn't have any proof of it. But I tell you, if I had recorded it, I don't think I could publish something like that because it would be his death sentence, basically. Mm-hmm. But he said that it could be in the book. But
okay, maybe. Well, I don't want to insist on knowing the name of this.
No, you know
actor.
the name, but I'm not going to tell
you. You mean I know him?
Yes.
Personally?
Yes.
Okay, let me stop you there for a second. We'll continue with these unbelievable anecdotes right away. Before that, let's watch our second language tip with Mark Broderick, who is going to tell us about 4 interesting English words which describe 4 different types of conversation. Check it out and take note.
Hey, so I'm back with some more expressions for you, and this one about speaking, something that I tend to do quite a lot of, and if I find myself speaking too much in this particular part, then you tell me to stop and cut it off. I'm joking. Well, let's continue. So, banter. Banter is the first word related to speaking, and banter is awesome because it means basically teasing, having fun, pulling the piss out of your friends, you know, in a good-natured way. So, because I was down the pub last night, we had good banter with the lads after the football match. Then we have repartee. Repartee is like a fast conversation with lots of irony and great jokes, and it's funny, etc. Something you might find in The Big Bang Theory or Friends. And of course, you can add another adjective onto that, witty. A witty repartee is, of course, a funny, quick, fast, sharp conversation. All right, now we're going to move on to something a little bit negative when we talk about speaking, which is bicker. And this happens a lot within families, at dinner times, for example. They fight and they bicker about small things that are not really that important at the end of the day. You can say, I was there last Sunday bickering with my family over who would clean the dishes. You know, silly things like this. And last but not least, a British expression, chin wag. Of course, if you break it up, you have 2 words, chin, which is here, and wag, like a dog's tail. You put them together, what happens? Chin wag, yes? So, a chin wag is when you have a good conversation with somebody or a quick chat. You said, I had a good chin wag and caught up with John the other day. It was good to see him. So, whether you chin wag, remember, it's better to have banter and not to bicker, but it's always best to have a good old repartee. Take care.
English can be serious and funny, very funny. Don't believe me? Stay tuned for the craziest TV quiz with Sergi Cervera, Patricia Scalona, Matthew Murtha, and Adina Rose Levin. Don't miss it!
We are talking with Toni Garcia about his book Mata tus ídolos, a funny account of his interviews with Hollywood celebrities, which is already on its 4th edition. This book couldn't exist without the person that we invited also today, Malcolm Otero, editor and contributor to our show. So hello, Malcolm, and tell us, how was this book born in the first place?
It was very easy. You know, Tony, his 2 or 3 friends were very sick of his telling the same anecdotes one time and another time. So we decided we had 2 options.
To stop the situation.
Yeah, we had to stop the situation. We could kill him. It was one option, but it was a little bit dangerous and we didn't want to go to jail. And the second one was to make this book, publish this book. So I talked to Tony and he was very flattering because he thought in that moment he was an important person. So he wrote this book, But I'm Doomed, because the book, it's been a success, so we have to do another book.
Congratulations. You mean a second volume or a follow-up or?
No, another idea.
Another idea?
Yeah.
Such as?
I know if the author wouldn't say that, I'm not.
You're not allowed to say anything for the moment. Okay, well, let's talk about this one. Like I said, it's been very successful. Did you expect it to be so successful?
Well, talking seriously, I thought it was, these anecdotes were very, as a reader, when we're talking to Toni, and he's been for years telling this anecdote, he's been like making it more perfect. I mean, the anecdotes are already, they have been written for 20 years. So I knew that the book could work. I didn't know that it was going to be 4 reprints, 4 editions, but I knew that it would be at least a small success.
Okay.
I'm about to cry, Marcela.
Well, you're about to, maybe you will cry, because I was going to say that this book, for me at least, also reveals the most human part of Toni. At least the beginning, for me, was very touching. What we read about your love for cinema, how it started, about your family and all that. Would you agree, Malcolm?
Well,
that the book reveals the most human Toni?
That what makes this book so special, because it has a lot of humor, there's a lot of big stars, but there's also something very personal about Toni. And in this case, there are 2 chapters, the death of his mother and the death of his father. He's trying not to be sentimental, trying not to get emotional when he's writing it, but you as a reader, you cry.
Yeah, no, like I said, it is a very emotional start, and then we laugh a lot as well. No, when we read all these funny things and anecdotes about all these famous actors we see on the big screen. Malcolm, in the book, Toni says the best way to stop worshipping an idol is getting closer to it. Why does he say that?
Well, I mean, because he had like very human and different experiences with these stars. First of all, I want to ask Toni if you have any kind of resentment, hatred, because, I mean, unfortunately, I know that journalism is poorly paid in Spain.
Hatred? That's a bit exaggerated, maybe.
and you get to be related to these famous rich billionaires. I mean, surrounded by champagne and luxury. When you start thinking about how you can pay your debts and your bills. So how do you feel? How do you feel in this situation?
Tell the truth.
With 2 bags in your pocket and...
No, I'm lucky in the sense of I never thought I was part of that community. So when I had like 18 euros in the bank and I was at Cannes having dinner with some star and an incredible restaurant, I thought I was a fake, you know, because I'm the one in an atmosphere that is not mine, it's not my environment. So yes, I hate them. I hate them a lot.
But tell us 3 great authors, great actors or actresses you admire as an actors that you think they are despicable as human beings.
Oh, Malcolm and Malcolm's questions. I hate you as well. I would say Anthony Hopkins, of course.
Really?
Great actor, great idiot.
Why, if I can ask?
Oh yeah, you can ask. The first interview I did with Mr. Hopkins, the first question I asked, he told me this is the worst question someone ever asked to me.
Really?
Yes.
It wasn't very nice.
No, it was. I think it was an okay question. It was not brilliant. It was not bad at all. I mean, it was a normal question, regular one.
Maybe he had a bad day.
I think I have the theory that he hates me. I interviewed him along the years for a lot, you know, like maybe 5, 6 times. He always hates me. You know, I see him smiling to someone, and then I get into the room, and he was like.
Okay.
The other, Denzel Washington is also, it's so stiff. No, like, he doesn't like very much journalists, and I understand.
Okay.
So Denzel, I don't hate you, but you're close to it. And then Tommy Lee Jones, because Tommy Lee Jones is a great actor, but he hates journalism.
You? Oh, okay.
Not me as well, because I'm a journalist, but he hates everyone. So he's a guy that is, when you go and interview him, he hates you all the time.
And
he lets you know that
he looks down
hates
on you, right?
Yes. He let you know all the time that he hates you.
Well, that's a shame, because I really like him as an actor.
A part of this chapter of, let's say, and the scientific word would be assholes.
Yes.
Let's go to the second. I mean, the nice people, but bad actors.
Yeah.
Difficult question.
No.
There is no nice people.
No,
Come on.
usually when they are bad at acting, they are bad at giving interviews. There's no, because giving interviews is also a talent. You have to know how to do it, And the best ones giving interviews, like Tom Cruise or Matt Damon or DiCaprio, is because they are so professional, They look nice. Even if they hate you, you'll never know, like Will Smith, What's your name? Tony. Macaroni. It's like, okay, Will, thank you. When they're bad at acting, they're bad at giving interviews. There's no, there's no other way around.
Okay, interesting. I was wondering about all these festivals, that Toni mentions in his book. Maybe you can tell us, I don't know if you counted the festivals, how many festivals you attended, in which countries, and which are your favorite ones?
I attended about 120 different countries, more or less. And my favorite, always is Venice, because Venice is Venice, When you leave the theater and go outside, you have Venice. I like Cannes, but Cannes, the problem with Cannes is it's full of French. And I don't like the festival. It's so stiff, all of it, It's people very serious. So that's it. And then Berlin, it's so cold, so cold. People is cold, the festival is cold, the city is cold, so I don't like it. And then the two that we have here, San Sebastian is amazing, but I would choose to go to San Sebastian any time of the year without the festival, because it's full of people, I don't like people. And then Sitges, which is, like 20 minutes from Barcelona, which I think is still a great festival.
Okay.
These festivals, you are in a hurry all the time, you have to work a lot, people with tight schedules. Did you manage to make any friend? I mean, about actors and actresses. I mean, you have interviewed the same person perhaps 10, 12, 20 times.
I have many friends among the journalists that cover the festivals, because it's always the same people.
Especially the Austrian journalists.
No,
right?
that's Marcus. They are not the ones I hate them. I hate a lot of people, also Austrian journalists. No, I have many friends among the people, especially British people. They are really great interviews. A lot of people, Swedish, from Norway, a lot of good people there. But with actors, even in my experience with the Spanish actors, I had 3 or 4 Spanish actors and actresses that they were friends of mine until they asked me about something, a movie or a play or something they are doing, and I say I don't like it. Then they are not your friends anymore. They need you to remind them all the time how good they are and what they do. And I'm not this kind of person. I'm despicable in that sense. I tend to tell the truth. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry.
Okay, this chat is really, really interesting, but I'm afraid we're running out of time.
No, please. Let's keep going.
You can
for
come
another
again.
5 minutes, please.
No, you can always come again. But before we go, Toni, we have one last question for you, which is called the question chain, which is a question from our last guest.
Okay.
In this case, a Catalan novelist. Check it out.
Hi, this is Martí Gironell, and I have a question for you. Which is the last book that you have read?
I didn't finish it yet. I'm reading A Woman in the Woods by John Connolly. That's the last one.
Okay. Are you enjoying it?
A lot. I like it a lot, yes. It's like a mystery book with a lot of blood and people getting murdered.
Okay.
My kind of book.
Your type.
Toni Garcia, thank you so much for coming today to the show.
No.
Yeah, it's over, but
please,
you...
No, I don't know.
You can come back
I'm
anytime.
gonna stay here.
Okay, you can
I'm
stay
not
here.
leaving.
Okay, we are leaving. Malcolm, thank you so much. Until next time, we strongly recommend Mata a tus ídolos by Toni Garcia. Thank you again to both of you.
Thank you very much.
And talking of cinema, there is no more entertaining way to learn and keep up your English than with adventure stories, which is precisely the genre of both the film and the book that we are recommending today. These are our recommendations with Miquel López from Televisió de Badalona and Salvador Faura from la xarxa de biblioteques municipals de la Diputació de Barcelona.
There are many good books in English that you can read without having to understand every word in every paragraph. But if you choose to read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, you have to understand the details, otherwise you're not going to understand the end of the story. I strongly recommend you to read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes if you are not sure and want to test if you can understand detail, if you understand detail because you will love the prose, or if you need practice to end up understanding the detail so that you can understand the end of the story. Read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Superheroes are the top nowadays. The big successes in the last years have been movies like The Avengers or Captain America or Iron Man. I want to recommend you one superhero movie that is a bit different from the rest, although it belongs to Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ant-Man is a superhero, but also a funny character. The movie combines a sequence of action sequences, and also funny gags, lots and lots of gags. Then what's the story? Well, Ant-Man is a superhero that tries to help humanity and fight the baddies by shrinking to the height of an ant. Paul Rudd, usually a romantic comedy actor, becomes Ant-Man, but he's got a mentor, and Ant-Man himself years ago, played by Michael Douglas. And if you like the movie, you have to know something. There is a sequel called Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I wonder, if there is a sequel, will the title be Ant-Man, the Wasp and the Mosquito?
Finally, it's time for our Guess What quiz. So sharpen your wits and prepare to play from home and maybe have a laugh or two.
Yeah, a laugh or two or three or a lot, because here I come with 3 rounds full of entertainment, fun and crazy facts. At all events, you've got nothing to lose, which is hardly the case of our 3 contestants today, who have nothing to win because there is no prize. Hello!
Hi!
Hello!
Today's guest on Guess What is our contributor Adina Rose Levin. Hello, Adina.
Hello.
Welcome back. Well, how are you today? Good? Ready?
A little nervous.
Yeah? Well,
I told you there is no prize, nothing to be nervous for.
I know.
I object to that, actually.
Did you?
I think we should win something, right, at least?
I think so. After 2 years now you realize, Patricia?
Yes, I'm slow.
Well, Sergi, you know that among Adina's many skills, she's a creator and consultant as well. This is not the first time she'll be playing with us, so she knows what to expect.
Absolutely. So tell us, Adina, what do you expect out of today's show? I mean, do you think you'll be able to win the prize that Patricia is claiming?
I expect to be schooled by Patricia, like last time. I don't expect to get a lucky break at the end, just because of my knowledge of Sagrada Familia. So let's just see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see how it goes. And of course, let's say hello to Patricia Escalona and Matthew Murtha. Hello, guys.
Hello. Hello.
This is the second duel for you.
That's right.
I wouldn't call
Ready?
it
Excited, Matthew?
I'm very excited. I lost last time, but I think this time I've got some luck on my side, and I'm going to bring down the queen.
Okay,
Whoa.
This is on camera, people. Yeah, we have recorded that. All right, we're gonna show it later. By the way, today, for the first time ever, we have two contestants from the American Midwest, Adina from Illinois and Matthew from Ohio. So you probably, I mean, you've met before, right?
Oh, of course. She was prom queen, and
I actually skipped prom because I was here in Barcelona at the time. But
Right.
you know, the United States, it's such a small country.
Exactly.
They all know each other.
I was going to say America is such a tiny place,
In
right?
particular, the
of
Midwest
course,
is
we'd
really-
better get started, Sergi.
Oh, yeah,
maybe?
absolutely. We loved the multiple choice round about quotes last week. They gave us plenty of wisdom and insight into the human condition. So we are going to do the same thing again. Only this time, we won't tell you who said or wrote the quote. Marcella is going to read it out loud, and you will have to guess its author. Write your answers on the blackboard, and then you will show them. Easy, easy peasy, right?
Okay.
Here we go.
So, it is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light.
So, whom does that quote belong to? I love watching your faces before. It's like, I get it, I get it. Okay, you don't have to know the answer yet because I'm gonna give you three options. All right, let's watch your faces after us reading out loud the options. Option A, Aristotle. Option B, Robert Capa. Option C, Master Yoda. So, all right, so write the answer in your blackboard. You can write down A, B, or C. Is easier. A, Aristotle. B, Robert Capa. C, Master Yoda. I have to practice more my Master Yoda option, and don't show them. All right, so get ready and hold on. All right, and now show them. Kappa, which is B, Kappa, and A, Aristotle. That means that you're right, you were right. You're getting better luck than last week. Absolutely, it happens to be a sentence by Aristotle from the 4th century BC. He was famous for being a philosopher and a misogynist as well. Two reasons not to invite him over for dinner.
That's the real reason we didn't answer A.
And no one has answered Yoda, because if it would have been Yoda, would have been something like, during darkest moment that must we trust, or something like that. Well done, guys. All right, guys, let's move on to a quote about birth from another mysterious person. So let's hear it.
Okay, so have you noticed that all the people in favor of birth control are already born?
Who said that? Here are the options. Option A, Teresa of Calcutta. Option B, René Descartes. Have you noticed my very good French pronunciation?
René
And
Descartes?
option C.
René Descartes.
Yeah,
René
exactly.
Descartes.
I've been practicing the whole week, but it didn't work out.
We're here for
Option
English.
C, Benny Hill. Have you noticed my French pronunciation? All right, so write it down.
no Master Yoda this time.
No Master Yoda this time. The quote is very well constructed.
I would have thought for sure.
You can just
Sorry.
wrise down A, B, or C, Patricia. We
That's-
love you.
yeah.
We would love you
You
anyway.
understand this?
All right. 3, 2, 1, show it to me. Teresa of Calcutta. My mom, Master Yoda. Oh no, C.
Yeah.
Option C. Which means he's the lucky one today. Option C is the right one. Yeah, the British comedian and actor Benny Hill, definitely popular for his insights on chasing women in underwear. What's going on today?
Yeah, and
Hero
let me
of
ask you, what is your favorite kind of comedy?
Not Benny Hill.
No comment. No comment.
Anything but Benny
Matthew,
Hill.
you're the comedian, and
Oh, my favorite type of comedy is
Me?
It's seeing you try to act. No,
whoa,
I apologize. That was unnecessary. No,
It was definitely unnecessary. I'm gonna have to control myself because I'm the quizmaster and I should play fair. But
it's okay.
go ahead.
I'll get over your love for Patricia one day. My favorite type of comedy is seeing an elderly person and a banana peel.
Wow. So Benny
That
Hill.
was unnecessary too.
Very aggressive.
You
Yeah,
are
I
actually
apologize.
very unnecessary now that you mention it.
I like to think that the banana peel will slip on the old person.
Let's
right.
move on.
Okay, let's move on. It's a good idea to move on.
Yeah. So now for the third quote, to end this round, I have chosen a touching piece of wisdom about marriage.
Well,
let's hear it.
It goes like this. Marriage is like putting your hand into a bag of snakes in the hope of pulling out an eel.
So what famous thinker had such a wonderful feelings about marriage? Just a hint, not Master Yoda and not Aristotle either. So it was A. Leonardo da Vinci, B. Simone de Beauvoir, or C. Hypatia of Alexandria.
Okay, here come the women.
Time for you. Your mom is not among the options.
She's very wise, though.
I believe that. So
Tough one.
Tough one, right?
Why would
So
I
3, 2, 1, show them to me. Simon C. B, which means that none of you were right. The answer was Leonardo da Vinci. Did he say this out of his misogyny or out of his love for men? Who knows?
So let's see, do you guys have a similarly snaky view of marriage or of living together with someone?
Look at the picture.
Well,
Where are you?
as the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, it
rest in
helps
peace.
sometimes to be a little bit deaf.
Okay.
Yes, she said so. That
In all things in life, both at work and in her marriage.
All right, so let's remind how the score is going on. Matthew is ahead with 2 points, and way behind, the two of them are with 0 and 0 points.
Way
each of
behind,
you.
let's redefine that.
For the moment.
It's 2 points.
It's 2 points, yeah.
We should just end the game now, right?
Let's leave it here.
Seems like a good time. Yeah.
Let's leave it
okay,
here.
Thank you so much. This was
You don't
much
deserve
fun.
after
Let's
what
hope
you have
that's
said
not.
about
Let's hope
me.
that's not how our election goes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry, Marcella. That was only a warm-up. I hope these quotes have helped you to be better contestants. Now we're going to take on the second round.
Yes, but that will be after a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are about to start the second round of Guess What with Patricia Scalona, Dina Rose-Levin, and Matthew Murtha.
Put on your helmets and don't even think about having a drink because you're going to go through the speed challenge. 2 points for every right answer. Today, we're going to read some well-known proverbs about money. Money, money. But leaving out the last word or words which you have to finish. You know how to use your instruments, right? Tune them in. You broke one last week.
I did. I'm
you?
sorry. I try not to be so excited this time.
Well, it's related to money, the topic. So there is a topic to be excited about. Is this one, my
That thing
friend?
we don't get if we win the program, you mean, no? That,
Yeah.
Of course,
Of course.
that thing that we don't
As much
get.
as you want. So here is the prize. As much as you want. Yeah, I'm afraid so. Sorry,
Okay,
Marcella.
let's start. Shall we
Yeah,
start?
let's start. Let's start right now. You ready? Here we go.
Okay, so a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the...
Matthew.
Bush.
That's right.
That's correct. $1 million for my friend. You cannot lose what? Patricia?
You don't have?
You never had. That's right. Another $1 million.
A golden key can...
What can Patricia?
Open any door?
That is
Yes, that's
correct.
right. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. Look after the pennies and the pounds.
Will follow?
That is technically correct. We look after themselves. I'm gonna give you.
Out of pity, a pity point. Thank
but
you.
next time, ring the bell a bit harder with some, some convincement.
That was shy.
So, the best things in life are...
Free.
Yes,
Free.
that's right.
It's not true, but that's what the quote says. A fool and his money are, Matthew?
Easily separated.
Soon parted. I'm gonna give you that, okay?
Okay. Don't put all your eggs in...
Patrice, sorry, you were right. You were right. That's yours. Go.
You said ring it, so I ring it.
Yeah, exactly. You
Don't
go
put
for
all
it.
your eggs in one basket.
That's correct.
That's correct.
$1 million for you too. There is no such thing as a free
lunch.
That is correct.
Yes. He who pays the piper calls...
Matthew.
His wife.
Nice try.
That's not correct, Patricia.
Shots?
That
Maybe I
is-
should repeat. He who pays the piper calls the...
Not your wife is incorrect.
Husband.
Go for it.
Okay, the tune.
The tune.
Plays the tune.
Plays the tune. All right, here we go. Lend your money and lose. Patricia?
A friend.
A friend. Your friend, correct.
One man's loss is...
Matthew?
Another man's gain.
That's right.
That is correct.
Or woman's.
Correct, absolutely.
Persons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Persons.
The worth of a thing is what? Matthew?
45 cents.
Yeah, could
Patricia?
What you make of it?
What it will bring. I'm gonna say that is correct. Point to you. Well
Okay.
done. Last one.
And the last one, money doesn't grow
On trees.
on trees.
That is correct.
Money doesn't grow on
unfortunately.
trees. Okay, that was easy, no?
More or less.
More or less. It was quick, anyway.
Exactly.
Okay, so which of these proverbs have you disapproved more often?
I would say lend a friend money and lend a friend money and lose them,
Lose a
whatever.
friend.
Lose a friend. Lend money and lose a friend.
Lose your words.
Yeah, whatever.
Lend your money and lose your friend.
That's not true for me.
Do you have
Really?
1,000 euros?
Who said we are friends? By the way?
Whoa, fair enough. All right. Let's check the score first.
Yeah, good idea.
Good idea. Okay, oh, it's interesting what's going on.
Matthew is in the lead with 10 points.
Yeah, and then a bit behind, just a bit behind. I mean, behind enough to win today's contestant as well. Adina and Patricia, 8 points each.
Whoa.
Wow.
How did that happen?
Wow, how did that happen?
You knew
right?
a lot, woman.
Absolutely. All
But
right, so
there is still more time to win. So our third and last round is a true or false challenge. Every right answer will get you how many points?
3 points.
3 points, exactly.
3 points.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we have taken our inspiration in this challenge from major dates in the calendar. Surely, you know that tomorrow is International Uncle Day. Marcella is going to read out some curious facts about famous uncles and aunts. Use your signs to say if they are true or false. 3 points for each right answer. Let's go.
Okay, so let's see. So, one of the most famous fictional uncles, at least in animation, is Scrooge McDuck. Donald Duck's wealthy but mean Scottish uncle stories were so popular that they even inspired the film Raiders of the Lost Ark. Is that true or false?
3, 2, 1, show your answers. False, false, and false, which means point goes to no one. It's absolutely true. George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were both fans of the Uncle Scrooge comic series, particularly in The 7 Cities of Cibola. The buddies set off a rolling giant boulder while trying to steal an emerald statue.
I think those are fake news.
Yeah.
We need to
I
check
Fake
everything
news.
now.
I think we
Just
need
check
more
it out.
women in
Yeah.
filmmaking. That's
Check
what
it
I
out.
think.
Our screenwriter
Okay.
always writes the truth, right?
So, who's the artist who's disappointed you the most?
Tell the truth. Matthew, right? Oh no, I said artist.
Oh.
As an
fair.
artist?
Fair.
Artist, exactly.
As an
Exactly.
artist, as is their
Jose.
profession, or
Can we say Michael
as
Jackson?
a person?
We
I don't
can,
know, in
yeah.
general.
Pretty disappointed with him.
Yes.
That last album.
Hard
just-
question, right?
Yeah, you can answer, but that's 3,
There
2,
are
1.
so
go.
many. There's so many artists that
Patricia
were
just
terrible
named one
people.
for God's
Exactly,
sake.
exactly.
One,
Such as?
I don't know.
Wagner.
For
Wagner,
example.
all right, so let's leave it here and move forward.
Okay, let's move to the next fact. One of the best known uncles in cinema is not a character, but the Oscar award itself. The statuette is believed to take this name when Margaret Herrick, then the Academy's executive secretary, said in 1931, wow, it looks like Uncle Oscar. But one award winner was the true popularizer of the term. What if I tell you it was Walt Disney? True or false?
True or false? 3, 2, 1. Show your damn answers. False, false, and come on, Patricia, false. Which means that the three of you are wrong. Wrong, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what? Until I see 3 sources that confirm this, I'm going to maintain it's false.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Until then, a rather derogatory name, Oscar, took on importance when Walt Disney referred to the award as Oscar for the first time in an acceptance speech. Check it out.
By the way, just out of curiosity, do you happen to know the real name, the official name of the Oscar statuette?
$1 million at stake.
Richard. We're good friends.
Well, I do know that the Tonys are named after somebody Antoinette.
Thank you, but we were asking you about the Oscar.
Now I'm a theater kid. What can you say?
I actually know that the human brain weighs 7 pounds.
How much does an Oscar weigh?
Anything to say?
Patricia, Professional Association of Cinematography Award? I don't know.
Well, that's...
Was what the answer?
That's close. Actually, it's the, if you want to know, it's the Academy Award of Merit, right? Although the term Oscar has long been accepted by the Academy.
I would give you some points for that answer, but I'm not allowed to. So there is only one question left, but we will raise the stakes a bit more. This will be 5 points. 5 for whoever gets it right, but if you get it wrong, we'll take 5 points away from you.
So let's go for it. One of the authors who wrote about the most authentic aunts was Jane Austen. Her novels are full of these characters that have since become famous. Not only that, but Jane Austen was an aunt herself. What is less known is that she was an accomplished whiskey distiller. Is that true or false?
For 5 points, or for losing or winning today's contestant, what's your answer? Show it now. False, true, false. That means that you were wrong and they were right. The answer is hold on, because here it goes the explanation. Jane Austen didn't make whiskey, but beer. She was an accomplished brewer and she made spruce beer. Homemade beer was quite common at the time because beer was often safer than water.
All right. Okay, let's see. What is the most complicated drink you've ever made? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic drink?
Coffee with milk.
Is there such a thing as non-alcoholic?
Ice water. It takes a while.
Yeah,
that's very complicated.
You have to wait for like winter.
I'm not in the habit of making complicated
your own
drinks. Yeah.
I pulled a Jane Austen and I made beer during lockdown.
Whoa.
Wow.
On purpose?
Yeah, it was an make your own IPA kit.
Wow.
Okay,
maybe you have to keep
actually.
practicing because the score is gonna hurt right now.
I'll drink some when I'm done.
Exactly. So ready for the score. That means that Matthew felt lucky today, and he was absolutely right. He won the quiz with 15 points ahead, but Patricia was right behind with 13, and Adina, 3 points. That's correct.
I'll take all 3.
She's got 3 points.
Well, anyway, congratulations to all of you. Adina, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had a good time.
Definitely.
Okay, and of course, Patricia and Matthew, thank you and see you soon.
Of course.
Thank you.
He had a good time.
Yeah, this is the best time. We should do this exactly like this more often.
And we are ending today's show here. We'll be back next week. Until then, please don't forget to visit us on social media and post the solution to the guess word puzzle by Màrius Serra, which is usual ways of acting when you cross the border. That's 7 letters. Well, we invite you to stay tuned, keep up your English, and have a great week. Bye-bye.